Welcome to another week on board Puffin. So last week I finished the washboard. Potentially I did not let the epoxy cure enough, or I didn't prep the surface well enough, as the gloss on top has not bonded that well. Apart from that, the washboard has been great. It lets a lot of light in, and now with the latches secured to it, the boat is a lot more secure. This week I'm starting to repair the cockpit floor. The supports and the actual floor were cut out by a previous owner to remove the engine. Now that isn't great because there's no seals on it, so all the water actually flows straight into the engine bay. I'll also be making a start on removing and filling the holes with thickened epoxy on all the deck hardware. So the reason I'm doing that is when I sat in here and it was chucking down rain, washboard worked great, and then I looked around and there's some drips of water coming from where the handheld rails go through the deck and some other fixings where the water's still coming through. So hopefully that will fix those as well. So that's what I'm doing this week, so it's time to make a start. So here we have the wood. That was, I can't see the screen because of the sun, but hopefully you can see this. So that was what was supporting the cockpit floor. Was screwed in. Some lovely brass screws. So I finally managed to get them all out. So I do have, let's see if I can see this, yeah. So I do have, as you can see, this is why I'm putting new supports in. This is actually only about that big, and it's also quite rotten, so I've got to grind that back, sand the top, and these ones are longer, and it's right back in the back of the boat. I don't know if you can, yeah, so you can see that, but I can't because of the screen. But as you can see, these are longer, so I'm going to have to grind those back, cut those back to put the new supports in and line those up somehow. But now, time to start grinding. So here we go, I've used my oscillating saw to cut away here. This is the wood. This is why I ended up deciding to actually just replace this. It's got water coming in everywhere. And it's you can see here, it's sort of delaminating. So although it probably would have been alright if I'd gone over it again, it's still like an area of concern, and that's one of the things I don't want on the boat, is having in the back of my mind is like, is that gonna last or not? But now I'm just using my, I usually use wedges but I can't find them. Using my crowbar, I'm just going to take this off, sand this down on both sides, and then that'll be that little hatch bit done, and then I've just got to do the actual cockpit after this, which is going to be more fun. So I've had a few issues where this is all sanded now. I've just got to do the edges, but that's all ready to go back in. My angle grinder, which I was using to sand, the pad on that, I've thrown it away actually, but I had a pad that I can sand with this, and the hook and loop on it just went flying off somewhere. So I've got 2 more of those coming tomorrow. And then we have to carry on and just sand the rest of the cockpit floor, ready for the fiberglassing. So that's taken me most of the day. So now it's just time to start cutting these old supports out. So it's a bit of a tight squeeze, but right. So I'm using the oscillating saw. These have got to come out. And I think the noise that makes, I'm definitely going to get my headphones. Right, so it's back to it. As you can see here, I think I've already mentioned that I've sanded that down. Now, when I sanded this down, this is where the beams were, and to get rid of the wood I had to sand a lot down. I wasn't too fond of that, so I have sanded underneath here. As you can see, the wood is still there, but I've checked it, it's extremely firmly in there. So what I'm going to do is fix the supports onto this, which probably isn't a great idea, but thicken epoxy along here, fix the support in at either end. So once I've finished sanding today, I might even get a chance to do that. But the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to sand the bottom of this cockpit floor so that there's nothing left. And then once I've done that, thicken epoxy the wood on here, I will be filleting anyway along the edge of where the support meets this, so that should fill any holes, and it's going to be glassed anyway, so the support, the wooden support, is there just for the shape of the glass. So I'm going to give that a go today. These are nearly finished. I'm just going to sand down and get rid of any sort of material that's a bit flaky, so that when I glass it's a lot better. But it's time in this heat to stick my suit back on and start sanding. So today I'm just going to sand the top here, because I am going to put sheets of fiberglass along here. So I've been sanding all day in this heat, and one issue, I've literally got a tiny little bit left to do, but the extension lead keeps overheating. Apparently they've had the issue with a few other people in the yard as well. So I've left it for a while, and hopefully I'll be able to get that last bit done, and then I'll probably rinse the boat down, because there's gel coat and fiberglass everywhere. So everything's a bit dusty. I finally managed to get the extension lead to work, so that is all now sanded, and because absolutely everything is covered, I'm just going to give the boat a jet wash. So I'm going to call it there this week. I was going to do a bit more to the cockpit, but after cleaning and finishing all that sanding, I don't want to rush it this evening. But as you can see, lovely and clean, and you can actually see this a lot better. So what I've done, so everything's all sanded, ready for the supports to go in underneath, and then when the supports are in, I can actually put this back and then start fiberglassing and fill in on top to get this all nice and sealed again. So it'd be nice to have that as a solid panel, but there we go. So this week I managed to get all of the nasty prep work done for the cockpit floor, so I'll be able to actually put that in and hopefully get some fiberglass on that this week coming. And I've also got a template and getting that priced up now, so that is for the forestay. So the plate underneath, so when I remove the wood I can actually put this on and get those bulkheads in. So thank you for making it this far. If you have enjoyed the video, obviously give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you get to be notified when all the new videos come out. So you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are below. I also will have a website up and running within probably in the next month or so. That's going to have more detailed information about things that I do, if it's of interest to you. I've also got a Patreon, so if you do want to support the channel, that link's also down below, and it helps me buy plenty of the sandpaper that I'm going to be needing to sand the rest of this fiberglass down. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week.